I've carried this shame my whole life. A weakness in my mind, my body, my soul. Why do I crave such wretched things? Status? Vanity? I should have never gone to that old building. Now I bear it. A vision, a dream, an obsession. Money, fame, status. That is all I ever wanted since I was a child. To be someone people look up to, someone others want to be. I never became that person. It seems the things we crave the most are the things we can never have. Sometimes I wonder if I'm cursed from the beginning. A dream. That's exactly what I crave. Just a dream. I woke up to the day like any other. I followed my morning routine and headed out to work. My boss dropped a pile of documents on my desk and told me they need to be finished by the end of the day. Dallas and Tanya flirted nonstop beside me. I wanted to cut off my ears. Serena, the only person I tolerated, sat quietly at her desk. She kept to herself. I appreciate that. The day dragged on, long and agonizing. I wanted to quit. Dallas and Tanya were the first to leave, and I felt a flicker of joy for the first time all day. My boss stopped by and asked if the papers were done. I had 3 left. He told me to lock up once I finished and walked away. Of course. Serena was still there. I opened my mouth to ask if she was working late too, then stopped. I didn't want to ruin the one decent office relationship I had. She noticed anyways. "Were you going to ask me something?" she said quietly. I hesitated. Then asked, "Why are you still here?" The words came out ruder than I meant them to. She said she didn't like going home right away, that she stayed late most nights. I asked why, though I didn't know why I cared. She looked irritated. "That's my business," she said. I apologized. When I finished the last papers, Serena asked if I was leaving. I told her that was the plan. "I have something to tell you," she said. I turned. "What's up?" She paused, then held out a crumpled piece of paper. "Read it when you get home," she said. "Sure thing." I packed up and left. At home, I made dinner and climbed into bed, but sleep wouldn't come. I reached into my pocket and found the paper. I unfolded it. It was an address. Beneath it were the words, "I know what you're missing. Open hours, 2 to 4 a.m. It had to be a prank. I decided I'd ask her about it tomorrow. The next day followed the same routine. Dallas and Tanya were unbearable. My boss dumped more work on my desk. Serena wasn't there. That was strange, but I didn't think much of it. By the end of the day, everyone had left, and once again, I was told to close up. I noticed that I've been doing that a lot lately. Sometimes I felt like I did all the work here. Then I heard a knock at the entrance. It was Serena. I opened the door and asked what she was doing here. She said she didn't like going home right away. I laughed, but she didn't. I told her I had a few more reports to finish before closing up. She sat at her desk. "Where were you last night?" she asked. "At home," I said. She looked disappointed. "What did you mean by, 'I know what you're missing'?" I asked. She smiled and held my gaze for too long. "You'll see." When I finished my work, Serena was gone. I must have gone on autopilot. I got into the car and pulled the paper out of my pocket. What the heck, I thought. I'll just drive by. The address led me 30 minutes away, to a narrow alley in an old building that looked over 100 years old. I got out, then knocked. No answer. What a waste of time. As I turned to leave, the door creaked open. I stepped closer. No one was there. This was getting creepy. I decided to go home. Then I turned. Serena was standing behind me. I asked what this place was. She touched my shoulder and pointed toward the door. I couldn't speak. I felt heavy, exhausted, hypnotized even. I walked inside. She stayed behind me, smiling, still pointing. The building looked abandoned. It might have been once a library. No lights were on. I climbed a staircase to the top floor. At the end of the hall stood a single door. It opened. Serena was waiting. I stepped into an empty room bathed in moonlight. At the far wall stood a painting. An old painting, the size of a door, set in an elaborately carved wooden frame. I turned to ask what is happening to me. Serena only pointed at the painting, smiling. I couldn't control my body. My feet moved on their own. I was in a trance. The painting began to change. A picture formed. A picture of me. I watched as everything I ever wanted appeared on the canvas. I was perfect. I was rich. People adored me. I felt like I was at home. "I know what you're wishing for," a voice said behind me. "It's right there. Take it." I stood face to face with the perfect version of myself. Too happy. Too complete. "Touch it," Serena whispered. I took a deep breath. My hand moved to the canvas. I wanted this more than anything. I felt pure bliss. Then the painting began to drip black ink. My vision faded. Every time I see myself, I am a success. I have everything. People adore me. But I do not live it. I am only a spectator. I will never be the same. I will never live a life worth living. Do not trust every kind word. Do not trust every smiling face. Trust yourself. Your real self. Thank you for walking through the doors to the abyss with me. Dreams are timeless. Why wake up?